That mountain straight ahead that I'm looking at, that tallest mountain, that was a sacred mountain to the Apaches, from what I was told. They would come up on it, probably from the back side, I don't know for sure, but it's not as steep on the other side, and they would fast up on top of that mountain to realize their visions, what they were supposed to do, what they were going to be called. And it was an important place to them. It's all off limits now. There's about all that's out there that I've been told is archaeologists once in a while, and wildlife people. There's it's kind of a refuge. There's supposed to be a few mountain lions. They used to capture mountain lions out there to repopulate in other parts of the West because it had a large population in those mountains. One time they caught a couple of them and took them north, and I believe I'm right in saying that one of them made it all the way back. They had collars on them, but one came all the way back several hundred miles. I guess they didn't like where they was at. But anyway, there's still a good bit of mountain lions. The other day I was out here and I come across a game warden on the other side of the fence, so we talked for a while. And, he's a decent fella. He patrols that area all the way to those mountains over there from time to time, I guess. And he hadn't seen any horses in a while, but we've been seeing tracks just on the other side of this fence down here recently, and just curious about if they was moving back into this area. There's water over there in that brushy area. They call it a bosque. It's kind of like small trees and brush, but there's a spring over there, and it used to be a small lake out in there, and so they gravitate to it, and then they'd move north. They just migrate back and forth way north. That fence is in pretty good shape. We rode it one time for several miles up to an area called Three Rivers. It was broke down there pretty good. There's a big creek that floods occasionally out of the mountains from in the east, and it probably keeps the fence tore down. That mountain that we're looking at right there, it's if I've got the camera right, that's about 12,500 feet or so. It's usually got snow on it this time of year, but it's been really dry. It probably has a little bit of snow on the north side. There's a ski resort. I don't see anything out here. Jake usually, if there's any movement, he usually sees it, but he's not really acting like there's anything going on. These horses that we ride, they'll usually see before we ever do. I'm going to move on a little bit. Got a water break for Blue, and if Jake will leave him alone. I got a pan stashed there under that bush. I leave water in it for coyotes whenever they come through, but Jake's looking for mesquite beans. Let Blue take a rest. He got bit by, it looked like a spider a good while back, and his legs healed up pretty good, but it still might be a little sore. I think it might have been one of those brown recluse or fiddleback spiders. That's what it looked like. That seemed like he's happy. He's over there rolling in the dirt. He's a pretty good trail dog. He doesn't go too far. And he makes circles and comes back to see where you're at. I'm going to walk down there in a little bit and eyeball those tracks. I don't know if you can see this or not. I've been going down this trail here looking for horse tracks, but there's oryx out here. Looks like there's two, maybe. two different sizes of tracks right below me here. Just up the hill here, I just jumped one up. I didn't know there was any out here. They're usually on the other side of that fence there. And the horse tracks are going up and down that road. And there's a lot of oryx tracks out there too. But I was mainly looking to see if there's any horses wandering around out there. And I don't see any, and he's not acting like there's any of the winds out of the west. And if there's something out there, he would smell it and be looking, but he's more interested in that oryx that jumped up behind us a while ago. They tend to jump up sometimes when you get close to them, and it startles a horse pretty good. You gotta hang on. This is an old coyote den that caved in some time back. They generally do that. They tunnel out and undermine them, and in the hard rains they'll cave in and they'll go on and make another one somewhere. I haven't seen any horses out here today, just some old tracks. Just a lot of oryx tracks out here, and they took off up that hill. They went the other way. They probably heard us or smelled us. So we're going to go off this way and head on back home for the day. Old Baldy, or what we call Old Baldy, that mountain up there's probably got a lot of snow on the north side still yet. There's a ski resort on the north side of it. Belongs to the Apaches. And there's trails that go up. We've rode them a few times north of here. And you gain about 5,000 feet. We've been up about 10,000 feet on that mountain. We had never been up on the top of that to the top because it's kind of off limits. But you can get up about 10,000 feet up into the above the tree line, that bald area. You see the bald, it's all grass. And it's about belly high on a horse, that grass up there. Horses like going up there. You can turn them loose and they don't go very far. They just stand and eat in a circle. There's some pretty good streams coming off of it. One big one on this side that we usually follow up. There's a good trail. Crisscrosses that stream quite a bit all the way up until you get into the grass, and then it's just switchbacks because it's too steep to go up. You just have to switch back and forth on the trail to go up. The last time we went up there, Susie and I, we run into some snow and we had to turn back. The snow got pretty deep and we lost the trail, so we turned back. But anyway, I'm gonna head on home and shut this thing off maybe. If he'll be still. I don't see anything out here, so that'll be all for now.